Let's talk. Yeah, let's talk Viagra for women and let's talk Tantric. This massive growing movement of, especially popular with women, of Tantric sex. Basically, sex with no orgasm. Everything else except for the climax. Well, obviously, women prefer this so much more um, because it's obvious. Look, women don't come like men do. For men, it's easy. It's like pushing a button. Heroin shot, heroin shot. So men have just grown to want that hit, that incredible shot of heroin. And if women could as easily as men, I'm sure the world would be a very different place. But now there's the female Viagra, so maybe that's going to level the playing fields. Maybe that's going to bring harmony. Maybe it's going to be interesting to see how that affects our society. I think it's going to be a huge. It's going to have a huge impact because if it really truly is going to help women get turned on and be aroused more easily, then I think it's going to increase the amount of sex that's going to be going on. And probably going to increase, I feel like it could increase men's chances of being with, women. It's not going to be men chasing women all the time. It could wind up being the other way around. So it's really interesting. And yeah, going back to Tantric, that's basically, of course, it's this huge growing movement it started a long time ago. It's like I don't know if it's tied to Hinduism, and yoga probably, but I think yoga. It's tied to yoga, and it's basically slower, more seductive, and it's actually extremely healthy, I think, for the mind because avoiding the moment of climax. Usually, what happens after we climax, especially if you're, you know, pleasing yourself, it's this huge, not disappointment, but a huge opposite to the climax. It's a big like, oh, I just want to be left alone now. I want, you know, to re-energize because you feel drained. And I think this is I haven't studied Tantra, but feel like it would be more about how to make sex an energizing uh, thing. So there's the arousal, there's the attraction, there's the horniness, there's all that energy between both people, but it's kind of just nurtured slowly and slowly until just before the moment of climax, and then it's just playing around in that feeling without ever climaxing, just kind of enjoying that whole space, that whole feeling, and then being content with that. It's not an easy thing, I think, for men, especially to do, for women, of course, because, I mean, I would guess 90% of sex is the guy ejaculates and peaks, climaxes, after a couple of minutes, and the female, the girl's just like not even warmed up, needs like an hour, much longer. Not everyone, but most. So tantric sex is interesting. I also think it's really good for the brain because you're getting rid of that orgasm, that heroin shot. It's such a spike of pleasure and relief and euphoria that I think, if you're experiencing it too much, real life can start to get really gray and dull. And if it starts to control your life, it's an addiction. If you're able to control it, then you're okay. So that's the test, is if you feel like you're not able to say no and have a good kind of balance, maybe once every 2 days max, I think. I think we should be able to go a week without it and then maybe have a few days of it and then again re-energize for a couple of weeks. But yeah, tantric, I think if you want to improve your relationship, I think men try to like practice this and then enjoy everything up until the climax, but don't actually go over the cliff, so to speak. Anyway, that's my video, and I think this female Viagra is going to be really interesting. I think it's going to make a really huge impact on our species. Just like contraception did. I mean, look, everyone's having fun, sleeping around, casual dating, casual sex, casual relationships, one night stands, hookups, prostitution, all of this stuff, and more that I can't think of right now, have come from contraception. Because without contraception, babies, sex means babies. And you'd think twice about, especially if you're a woman, like who you're gonna be with. You're not just gonna go with anyone. You're gonna be way more pickier and I'm not gonna go into like how that completely changes society when there's no contraception, and then when there is, how it changes our society. There's like it's just incredible. People are not marrying. People are breaking up, getting divorced. It's becoming we're becoming more addicted to that euphoria of the orgasm or the climax, rather than you know being in control, keeping balance, being able to enjoy both the climb up to the peak and also the euphoric dive. That's it for now.